the presuppositions behind those arguments is that the Council of Nicaea was pagan. Constantine paganized Christianity, things of that nature. A lot of these movements take place on attacking the historic creeds of Christianity that happened long ago, that there was a truth that was lost and now it's restored.
Okay, let's just pause real quick, because anyone who is Torah observant, no matter what flavor you want to be a part of, anyone who's Torah observant is going to know the next question. Well, certainly you don't believe in in transubstantiation. That's part of the creeds, right? Fourth Lateran Council, right? This becomes church doctrine, right? Clearly you don't believe in indulgences. Clearly you don't believe in, choose your flavor of Roman Catholicism, right? Are you iconoclast or not? Right? There's so many Catholic doctrines that the Protestant Reformation comes along and says, we're not going along with that.
Nope.
Exactly. Yeah. And what he wants to say is he's using this term Orthodox Christianity, just like Rob pointed out. No, I'm sorry, man. I said this last show, you got to do better. And honestly, this is laziness. Now, Stuckey, good on her. She is revved and ready to go with this, because
because she's thinking, well, wait a minute. Why are the reformers not pay cults then?
Yeah, exactly.
How come with that reasoning, why are we not all Catholic? Because with that reasoning, why aren't we calling the reformers cult leaders?
Yeah. And
that's a sharp question.
Yeah. And not only that, but his response is the response of all Torah observant movements. Every single one of them is going to give the response that the guys from Cultish do. Here we go.
Thought as you were saying that, I was like, wow, yeah, that's so true. They all kind of share this premise of we are going to be the ones, the central figure, Joseph Smith or whatever, we are going to be the ones to restore the real gospel. This is not new. This is how it was always supposed to be. Now, that sounds a little bit like the Reformation. Obviously, I am a Reformed Protestant, but I could see how a Catholic friend listening to this would say, well, isn't that kind of what Martin Luther did? Which I think we all know our arguments, but I could see someone saying... I like her just because of this right here. And again, this is the only time I've ever even seen the show is these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but she nails it, right?
Yeah.
And now,
but they don't really, they kind of go, we don't they're not ready for Luther, that. Which is just...
Yeah, well, okay, here's the thing. And they even say this. They say this multiple times. The Hebrew Roots movement doesn't have a centralized leader. And so you're trying to... Now, look, I'm the first to stand up and fight against the Hebrew Roots movement, okay? I've done this for years. But we got to give some credit here. The Hebrew Roots movement... These guys are misclassifying the Hebrew Roots movement because there is no centralized leader, which they say multiple times. There is no central doctrine, which they say multiple times. And so the idea that this is a cult because what? They're following after a centralized leader. Now listen to their response, because the response that they give is the exact response that not only the Hebrew Roots movement is going to give, but that pronomian Christians and Messianics are going to give too, who are one Torah. What are we going to say? Well, we don't follow the creeds. We don't follow people. Even Luther says this, and the gentleman on the right, I don't know who he is, but the gentleman on the right even says, I don't follow. I haven't read Luther. I haven't read Calvin. It's like, okay, well, you're upholding the doctrines that they put forward, which is fine. But the point is that even Luther stands up at the Diet of Worms and says, yes, the councils can err. And this is the doctrine that these gentlemen now believe in. And it's the same doctrine that those who hold to the Torah believe. And we'll highlight this in just a few seconds.
So her question is essentially, why are we not cults? The three of us on this panel. Right. Why are we not cults? Because by all descriptions, it sounds an awful lot like, she said, I'm a Protestant reform.
It sounds like you're describing us. Hang on, let's listen to the response. Oh, man.
That's kind of similar. No, this is how it was always supposed to be. The real gospel has been lost. The real scripture has been lost. Don't trust these councils. Don't trust the Catholic Church. Don't trust some of these church fathers. Martin Luther, I have the real gospel. What would you say to that? That was just a thought that I had as you were explaining it.
Jerry, you want to go first?
You go
My
first.
authority is not Martin Luther.
Yeah.
Like that's not Martin Luther's not the standard.
Boom. Okay, so Martin Luther's not the standard. If Martin Luther's not the standard, let's go to the Bible. This is a covenant forever, throughout all your generations. Jesus says, truly, truly, I say unto you, until heaven and earth passes away, not the smallest letter or stroke will pass away from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, anyone who annuls one of the least of these commandments and so teaches others shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Romans 3:31. Does faith therefore nullify the law? May it never be. What about Isaiah 56, Zechariah 14 rather? What about all of the places in the Torah that say that the Sabbath is a sign forever between God and his people? What about Leviticus 11 that says that the kosher laws are forever? If Martin Luther and John Calvin are not your guy, if they're not your cult leader, and you're just going to go to the Bible, let's be honest, the Bible actually teaches Torah observance. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.